It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Okay, guys. So yeah, to present you with the first one card combo, then we're gonna go for Dark Magician Girl. So for her, we're just gonna go for a Shiny Star Clay, and let's assume that the other cards are non-existent. So let's stop. But please be careful placing things on the center. You're gonna use them with this deck, so be careful. So Shiny Star is gonna, in theory, we should be looking for our Future Silence. So what do we want to do? We want to increase the spell count that we have in hand. Future Silence is then gonna look for our, essentially, should be looking for Gadget Trio, but we already have it in hand. Okay, so Gadget Trio, we're then gonna activate it, go for Turn Silence. That's gonna allow us to go onto D-Mode with no issues. Now they can't patch it. And with D-Mode, we are going to go for our Illusion of Chaos. No gaze, sorry. There is a version where we can make sure that we set gaze with Dark Magician Black Magic. That is a bit more complicated, but more complex, but this is the simplest one. So then with Illusion of Chaos, get that Magic Souls, send something to the hand, to the deck, like for example, let's send Media Secure, which also is great because when you start with Dark Magician Girl, you can dump him on the graveyard, and then he can revive himself from there, and he can also call for the Power Patron. He can special summon Power Patron from the deck. So I love that synergy for sure. So let's return him right now. We don't need him. And then Magician Souls is gonna dump. You can dump Lucina, you can dump Tinia, you can dump, like honestly, you can dump any of them. But ideally, we go for Lucina. Then we activate the effect of Magician Souls to get one card, and now we're gonna go first for Miasma. Why? Because we don't have a gaze, and we want to make sure that we want to return D-Mode to the extra deck. So we're gonna use D-Mode and then Gadget Trio. So with that, return D-Mode. For some reason people fail this, and then I just go Celine, and it's the one that you should have failed, buddy. But yeah. Anyway, then Celine is gonna get us our Lucina. And then this is just full combo for Elfnotes. From here on, you can just go, for example, Regina. Regina is gonna move her from the middle because she needs to be on the middle, just figure its effect. And then we're gonna get Power Patron. Power Patron is gonna then use this to go onto Baroon. And that's gonna trigger the effects of both. So we're gonna first go for Power Patron and then Chain Locket with Regina's effect to bring herself to the hand once she's Synchro Summoned. And this one is gonna get us another Elfnote. So we're gonna go for Tinia. Now Tinia can special summon herself to the middle. Middle is really important here, guys. And now this is a card that locks you onto Synchro. So be careful here. Do everything that you want to do with links and fusions at this point. And then let's go now. This one does require us to send a monster from the hand or field to the graveyard to special summon a Elfnote of a different attribute. So here we're gonna want to go for Fortuna. And this is really key, guys. Really key. Fortuna is a light monster, so we cannot send Celine. Do not send Celine, please. I can assure you it never happened to me. So anyway, that's why Illusion of Chaos comes into play. So we are guaranteed that we have that dark monster on the hand that we can use for this. So we go for Fortuna. Fortuna is now gonna set face up the Continuous Trap, and then the Continuous Trap we can use Celine to get Power Patron. Okay, with this we now go for Seraphim, and then from Seraphim we're gonna special summon again from the graveyard any Elfnote, and then go to get Power Patron again. Or you can also get actually another Elfnote card and make him be like part of the Emperor. That can work as well. So anyway, we are not going to change level monsters. That is going to be especially good for the Power Patron card, Junora. However, this is more like a board breaker, and it's a very difficult board breaker. It's gonna negate the effects of all face of cards your opponent controls, and then it's not gonna let them use their mass fusion, synchro, SLC, or link summon material wherever the columns are matching with your Elfnotes, but that is really convoluted, really hard to pull up. Anyway, this is much more easier. So now we're gonna go for our Crystal Wing. Crystal Wing, we're gonna summon him on the extra deck monster zone, and that is our end board, guys. That is everything. Like, and then we have the Maroon, we have Crystal Wing, we have the negate from the trap card, and on the opponent's turn, what we're gonna want to do is, for example, we're gonna go Regina, dumping the continuous spell. We don't need it anymore because we basically have everything in rotation by now, so we're good. Summon her on the middle, and then go for Tinia, or you can go for Lucina, whatever. So go for Tinia. I like to go for Tinia because I now can activate her effect, and rip a card from the opponent's hand and banish it until the end of the next turn. For example, with Rhapsodia, whenever we need to activate it, we just negate something. So for example, we activate it now, dumping, let's dump, for example, let's say we already activated like a Crystal Wing or Maroon or something. So we're gonna want to go for Tinia, special summoning Seraphine, and then Seraphine is gonna get us, we can get a Magician Souls. From here, we can utilize, for example, this one. We can send Regina, for example. With that, we can activate the effect of Seraphine and get the Lucina, which is going to be able to put herself in the center and return a monster that is level 6 or lower on the opponent's field. So there we have it. It's like a bunch of the interruptions. This is how we dance in the middle while having our Elfnotes and Crystal Wind and Maroon. And that is the first combo, guys. Okay, guys, so here we have it, Theorize or Theorialize. One card combo. So this one is going to send Medias. And that's going to, from the top of the deck, we can send it from the, for the top or the bottom, giving us some cool tune information there. Special summon Medias by sending something back to the deck. So we can send Regina here. Now special summon the Power Patron. The Power Patron, we're going to activate its effect, and then go for Enlightenment Paladin. Enlightenment Paladin is now a spellcaster. That is a dog. So you guys know what that means. Now here to play a round draw, we can go for Tinia. Then Demon, the best one. Now we're gonna search for Illusion of Chaos. Always Illusion of Chaos. It's just great. And then with Illusion of Chaos, we're gonna get Magician Souls. Send back the girl, and with Magician Souls, we're gonna dump the Magician Girl. Go for Miasma. Miasma is gonna get us the girl, of course. You guys know this combo already, right? We can dump Illusion of Chaos. That is gonna go for Shining Sark, and Shining Sark is gonna get us. And this is why Gadget Trio is just so key one, such a key one on this one. So Gadget Trio is gonna go get us Future Silence. And then Future Silence is gonna get us Dark Magician, the Black Man. Now with this, we can go for, yes, Daybreaker. And now we can special summon the Dark Magician of the Black Magic, triggering another counter. Now we can pop him, and now that's where Tinia comes in, and then we just pop this guy, triggering his effect because there's a level 5 or higher on the field, and setting gaze. Now from here on we can activate Tinia's effect, Welcome Home. Now you want to go for Peroso here before you do anything else, and use Welcome Home to send something to the graveyard. So we can send, for example, Gadget Trio. That's gonna search us for Regina, or if you're like you want to continue playing around Droll for some reason, which at this point, like you pretty much just know that they don't have Droll. You go for Lucina. Lucina is now gonna get us Regina. Regina special summoning herself to the middle to get Fortuna. And Fortuna sets face up Rhapsodia. Now here we can go, for example, let's go. Ideally, you want to synchro summon her, right? So you wanna go. You can go for Fortuna, for example. Get the Power Patron. Now with the Power Patron, you can go for. First, we can. Yeah, we can go for Baron. We can pretty much go for anything. So we can go for Baron. Get her back. And now we can go for Seraphim. Now Seraphim here can be a combo piece, or we can actually use him to go to Crystal Wing. I'd like you can. I mean, it's really good because you can basically put any other girl here, and then use Regina to special summon on the opponent's turn on the middle, getting another girl, and that is going to allow you to play around the middle of the field and get all of their effects. But the other option is just go for the Power Patron and go for Crystal Wing. Finally, that's going to be our combo. So we have Gaze, we have the 3 ones here. Now just on the opponent's turn, basically, I mean, this board is insane. You can go for Dragoon right away. You don't need to. You can wait, actually. But yeah, make sure that you're using that extra deck Monster Zone, because this is going to get crowded. So now Regina is going to go for... I like to go for Tinia always and get that hand rate right away. And then once we so here we have like this is a negate, so you just want to wait until you use it. But once you have you feel the need that you need to negate something, that's where you are going to come into play and say, well, I'm going to use this one to negate anything on the field, and you can dump Tinia, get that Seraphim, and now you can go for Fortuna, you can go for Lucina, the one that you prefer, to get that other interruption. Okay, that's gonna be it. Let's see. It's just an insane board. It's just really hard for the opponent to do anything here. I'm really not sure how they would, but yeah. There you have it, guys. That is the 2 1-card combos that I'm going to be covering today. If you guys have any questions and you guys want to go over other combos, I hope that you guys, from the videos that I've been playing on the different matches that I had going on to Masters, you have learned other combos as well. Feel free to just go back to them. And I did put them at high speed because I just want to show you guys like as much content as possible so that you go prepared to get this beautiful Elfnote Dark Magician deck to Masters or whatever you want. But really have fun. Like it's really fun playing with these effects. It's really easy to navigate with Shiny Sarcophagus reaching onto Elfnotes. Your hands are always going to be looking like you're not always going to have to reach, like you're going to be able to have like 2 starters, 3 starters on your hand, and that is going to allow you to go onto some degenerate stuff and just keep pushing through interruptions while getting to this full Elfnote Dark Magician handbook. So there you have it, guys. Alright, so everyone, here we have it. This is Dark Magician Elfnote deck. Here I try to trim it down as much as possible, but there's some things that you cannot just play at one. For example, on the Elfnote side, like you need to play the 2 Lucinas, you need to play the 2 Tinias. They're just part of the natural combo of Elfnotes, and that you can't cut it, and then you have like these really good starters that you can really not pass on them. So 48 card list, it works amazing. It's really consistent on my end. Like it felt like really good. I feel like I always had like a bunch of plays and you will have it. You will have like hands where you have like absolute like three starters that are absolute powerhouses, and your opponent is once he realizes what he's going up against, they just keep scooping. Uh, so anyway, guys, onto the deck profile. So one vanilla, two magician souls because it's the bridge, and you want to play him at least at two. I like to play him at three generally, but we're playing Illusion of Chaos on this one. So basically, this is a magician souls, so no need for that. Um, so Illusion of Chaos at one is going to be key because this guy is for sure a great part of the combo. You're going to see why on a moment when I show you the one card combos. So then we go for Magician's Rod, always at one. Of course, you guys know it, that's just standard right now. Then the one Gadget Trio. Gadget Trio, as you guys know, I like to go for my turn silence with the Chinese Sarcophagus, so that whenever I get started with my combos, I first go for Town Silence and then I go for the Dark Magician Girl or go for Demon. That way my plays are insulated from an Ash, or even I can try to get this out quickly with Shiny Sarcophagus on the field so that I don't get rolled. Amazing card. Anyone that plays Shiny Sarcophagus should be playing Turn Silence and Gadget Trio for sure. And also, it's going to be key for us to breach onto Elfnotes at this time. So it's absolutely necessary because you want to have at least 3 spells on the graveyard whenever you are going to want to reach onto the Elfnotes with Celine. Okay, so then the 3 girls, no questions about it. That's just standard. She's great. So we're going to play her at less than that. Then we have the Magician of Black Chaos, which is going to be key onto making sure that we can do all of the combos breaching at the same time and getting our gaze, for example, set on the field. You're gonna see that I'm playing Daybreaker because I thought that it makes sense. It makes sense. Like it's gonna be a key part. Like not you can't like if you opt to go for Baroon and try to pop him, then you're don't left yourself with a lot of gas to reach on 12 notes. So that's why. And then key part. Then we play the Gandora G. You guys know it. This is the best card going second. No questions about it. It's just great beta, great check, etc. Now, then we have the 2 Shiny Sarcophagus. That's the perfect ratio for this card. It's fat going second, so but you do need it. It's like you need a 2 for hand economy for many reasons. Then Turn Silence, and finally Future Silence. Future Silence is just a great starter that we can activate on the draw phase, so it helps us against draw. Finally, we play the 1 Soul Servant for recursion and the 1 Gates of Timaeus. You can play at 2, but then you start like having like too many like garnets on the deck, so you can definitely work with it at 1. It just takes a little bit of good piloting in the deck. Then we're gonna move the Elfnotes side of the deck. The Power Patron. Given that most list of Elfnotes play this at 2, but given that we play Illusion of Chaos and there's ways to fix our hand, then essentially you want him on the deck. You don't want him on your drawing hand. But yeah, we have ways to deal with that. So Elfnote Power Patron is going to be the tuner that we're going to be using for all of our synchros plays with Elfnotes. Then we have the 1 Meteor. He's not a good starter on this deck for sure because he's not going to allow us to breach onto Dark Magician side. He's just going to allow us to go onto Elfnotes. So we want to make sure that we can combo the 2 archetypes or 2 engines while efficiently breaching between them. So then we're gonna go for the 2 Lucinas, 2 Tinias. You need 2 at least for each of these so that you can make sure that you have the right interruptions, so that you can go for combos, etc. So Lucina is gonna search 1 Elfnote. Tinia is gonna set this spell, continuous spell, which is called Welcome Home. Great. This spell is gonna then special summon by sending any monster to the graveyard, and you must make sure there's different attribute. So we typically go for Fortuna here. Then Fortuna sets face up the Rhapsodia of Madness interruption on our opponent's deck. And finally we have the Regina. Regina is just a great play. You typically go for Lucina, Regina, Tinia, and then Fortuna in that order, and that's how you get them all on the field. Once they are there, you can start synchroning. And that is all. That non-engine, you're gonna see that I'm playing. I chose to play more kind of like tuners because I think that they make sense on this deck. As you will see, the things that lock you onto synchros are, for example, Welcome Home and the synchro. This one, Seraphim. She also locks you onto synchros. So you're gonna make sure that you have done everything that you want to do with your fusions from Dark Magician or your link plays before you go onto these onto the spell. Finally, we're gonna have the best starter of the decks, which is Theorize. This card is insane. It allows to fully combo the both engines without any issues and just seamlessly, beautifully. No questions there. So yeah, this one is gonna drop Medias Appear onto the graveyard, and this is gonna be key because we have now activated the spell, allowing us to go for Demon. How do we do it? Medias, I'm gonna show you on the combo list later. So then we're gonna play Choroso, that's gonna help us with the Shiny Sarcophagus getting to Baron the Floor or other place. The package of Dark Magician, of course, the 4 fusions that are key, Master of Chaos, Timmy, Demon, Dragoon. Then Black Rose Dragon is a board breaker, which on summon destroys everything on the field. Seraphine, part of the combo for the Elfnotes. Enlightenment Paladin is gonna be what is gonna make possible for us to reach to fully combo with Theorlights, bridging the 2 Dark Magician and then bridging 2 Elfnotes at the same time. Then Crystal Wing, because we can Baroon, can just make it with the 2. And then you have the Typhoon and SP. Yes, it does allow us to play Typhoon and SP. You could play in other synchros, to be honest, but it is hard. I think that these are just too good going second. Like Typhoon is really key going on into Ultunes, and SP Little Knight really helps a lot going second. Daybreaker is gonna be part also of that thing that is gonna allow us to have case set while being able to reach onto Elfnotes and doing full combo for the Elfnotes. So amazing card. Like the thing is that we cannot go for the pop from Baroon because that is gonna cut us from too much gas, and then we are not gonna be able to reach Miasma because we can dump anything on the graveyard at the end of the day. And for example, like there's this really cool tech where you can go dump Magician Souls, dumps Regina, and then Regina she can activate on the opponent's turn and basically set at least a few interruptions like Tinia or Lucina, which dancing in the center, they are gonna be able to just mess with your opponent. Then Celine is gonna be the ultimate reach for dumping spellcasters onto graveyard and then bringing them to the field to get on with your combo. So there you have it, guys. That is the deck profile